Hi, I'm Steve Groves. I'm from the Heritage Foundation. It's Monday, December 14th, and I'm here in Copenhagen, Denmark, monitoring the UN Climate Change Conference, the negotiations over how the world is going to confront the issue of climate change now that the Kyoto Protocol is going to be expiring in 2012. And that's really the story of the day, because the developing nations of the world love the Kyoto Protocol. The African countries, China and India especially, they love Kyoto because it has no requirements for them. They don't have to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. They don't have to report to anybody about what they're doing in their economy. So they like the situation just like it is under the Kyoto Protocol, which is why when they felt earlier today that there wasn't enough being discussed about whether to hold on Kyoto or extend Kyoto, they walked out on the negotiations. So that's the big story of today. The G-77, which is a voting bloc of 130 developing countries, or so-called developing countries, with China and India, were unhappy about the amount of attention the Kyoto Protocol was getting, and so they walked out on the negotiations. And at least into the late afternoon, as I'm shooting this, they remain on walkout. So I'm sure they'll return to the negotiating table. These types of symbolic walkouts happen in conferences such as these. So it remains to be seen what will happen next. Will the developing world get over their desire to extend the Kyoto Protocol? Will the so-called developed world, including the United States and the European Union, allow the developing world to have their way and not forge a new agreement that all countries can sign on to, and that would require the developing world to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions and to submit itself to monitoring, verification, and reporting on what they're doing within their own countries, which is another part of the deal that they want to stay away from, which is why they like Kyoto. So stay tuned. I'll continue to report on what's happening inside the Bella Center here in Copenhagen, Denmark. Until then, I'm Steve Groves with the Heritage Foundation.